The year is 1983. Video game consoles for use in the home were growing rapidly as an industry, with the United States console market reaching over $3.8 billion. Hundreds of games were being produced for dozens of successful consoles every year, and profits were reaching highs never before dreamed of. The home gaming industry was booming. And then suddenly, it all just stopped. The cause of what has become known as the video game crash of 1983 is not entirely clear, with possibilities ranging from oversaturation to the rise of personal computers still discussed to this day. Companies were losing millions, games were pulled from store shelves and in some cases, literally buried beneath the ground. However, I'm not here to talk about the fall, I'm here to talk about the rebirth. In 1985, a relatively small Japanese video game company with a long history of toy making introduced one character, one idea to revolutionize the industry and save it from near destruction. That company was Nintendo, and their character was Rob the Robot. Released in North America in 1985, the Robotic Operating Buddy, or Rob for short, was not a very good product. In fact, he was pretty terrible. He was slow, he was clumsy, and he required excessive amounts of plastic accessories and batteries just to do anything at all. And he was pretty creepy. However, he came with a large machine known as the Nintendo Entertainment System that plugged into a television, as well as a cartridge to insert into that machine to display a piece of entertainment known as Gyromite, or Robot Gyro for some reason, that Rob could interact with. In Gyromite, a human player controls a character on the screen to walk around and collect pieces of dynamite, while Rob sits on the floor with a bunch of plastic stuck to his sides. Problem is, there are pillars in the way of some of the dynamite, and the character cannot jump. So the human player will press two buttons on the controller. A color will flash on the TV, which Rob recognizes, causing him to start to move. So first, he moves his arms over to a spinning top on his side and reaches down to pick it up. Then he moves it all the way to his other side, where he places it into a spinner and leaves it there for a bit. Once it spins at a certain speed, Rob picks it back up and puts it down on one of the colored pieces of plastic in front of him, which then presses a small mechanism to put pressure on a button in the second controller. And then, the pillar moves out of the way. Clearly, this could be accomplished much more easily by just using two hands. A human needs far less than a second to go from thinking to press a button to actually pressing that button. This hunk of plastic takes a full minute, and that's not an exaggeration. So how can this crappy toy possibly revitalize the video game industry? It all comes down to the marketing. Nintendo used their knowledge from working in the toy-making industry to get a video game system, the Nintendo Entertainment System, on store shelves, simply by including a weird robot and pretending that it was supposed to be the actual product. Of course, it wasn't very long before Rob was shoved off to the side and Super Mario Bros. Cartridges began to ship with the console instead of it. But that doesn't take away from the fact that if it weren't for Rob, no retailer would have ever sold the NES. It just didn't seem worth it to them, they didn't want to take the chance. But with a weird robot, the retailers were easily persuaded, and the console went on to sell nearly 62 million units. This success quickly caught the eye of competitors, and soon enough, many consoles were on the market again. The industry was back, and it was bigger than ever before. So where's Rob now? Aside from outrageously high-priced eBay listings, of course. Believe it or not, Rob is more alive now than ever. He's appeared in cameos across various games from Nintendo, some almost as old as Rob himself. He's raced alongside Mario, he's been a piece of treasure to collect, he's been hidden in the background of so many games and so many franchises. Most importantly, he's joined the ranks of iconic characters like Mario, Kirby, Pikachu, and the Wii Fit Trainer in the last 3 entries of the highly successful Super Smash Bros. Franchise. It's as if Rob is always somewhere, watching over this age of amazing games, ready to step in whenever he's needed again.